Hi, I want to talk to you today about three strategies that I have been using to get me unstuck, give me confidence, and create massive momentum in my business. But first, before I tell you what they are, I just want to tell you a quick story. So I was sat down, it's Monday here in Australia, and I sat down at my desk this morning, ready to start work, and I started freaking out. I started going, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I looked at my diary. I hadn't planned the day. There's not much in my diary or there wasn't for today and for the week. And I was kind of feeling like I don't know where to start. And there's a bit of a backstory to this. So anyone that knows me knows that I have been speaking for years about the need for more resources and help for female startup founders, and particularly how the current system is really not geared to help us to get ahead, and that in fact most of the stuff out there, the accelerators out there and the funding mechanisms out there are really designed around male entrepreneurs and don't work for women, and that's not the point of this um, video. So I'm not going to get into that, but I'm sure you'll hear a lot more about that from me very soon. But all that to say, a couple of weeks ago, I decided that I was going to give up my part-time lecturing job in entrepreneurship, and I was going to go now. Now is the time for me to go all in on making a accelerator for female founders happen that helps them launch their businesses and get their first customers in the door and build their businesses through revenue rather than wasting time and money getting funding. And I'm super, super excited about this. It's awesome that, that I've actually given myself the permission to do this right now when it's been something that's been on my heart for so long. So why was I sitting at my desk freaking out? This is something really new that I'm doing. So it's new to me, but also there's not a lot of other people doing similar things out there. So there's not a model for me to follow. And that's often the way when we're building startups. And so, in one way, I'm really excited about this new thing that I'm doing. But on the other hand, I'm kind of freaking out, going, I don't know what to do. There's no path. It's up to me to make it happen. Where do I start with this? And so what I thought I would do is I've got a bit of a morning routine that I usually do when I start work. So I thought I'm going to go do that. There's some songs that I listen to, and I thought instead of sitting at my desk, which is clearly not working for me this morning, I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to listen to these songs. So I did that. And as I was walking, I remembered something that I had put in place last August. And this is the three strategies that I mentioned at the start of the video. And I had a realization about what I need to do. So last August, last year, 2018, was a really difficult year for me on every kind of level. Personally, I had some very serious health challenges in my career and my business, and it just felt like everything in my life wasn't working. And I thought I need to find a way through this to get to a better spot. So I started doing some planning. I wrote myself 10 questions, and these three strategies I'm talking about came out of those 10 questions. So if you would like those 10 questions, just pop a comment below, and I'm really happy to share those with you. So as I was walking, I remembered these 10 questions that I'd done. And as I was answering those back last August, what I realized was to start up successfully, I don't just need a business strategy. Now, a lot of people think that they just need to know what to do. They just need the business strategy. I knew that wasn't true because I'm really good at business strategy. I know a lot about it. I it's kind of my superpower is helping people find the right business strategies for themselves. And I knew what the strategy for me was back then, but I still wasn't executing what I wanted to be doing in my business. And as I answered these 10 questions, I realized it's actually not just a business strategy that I or anyone else needs when they're starting up. You actually need 3 strategies. So you do need your business strategy, and that's different for every business. And the tricky thing about startups is sometimes a lot of the business strategy is unknown, right? So if you're starting up an accounting practice, we know how to do that. There's been thousands and thousands around the world that have been started, and it's not hard to work out the strategy to start an accounting practice. But if you're creating a business that is new, that is doing something different, if the business model is a bit different, your business strategy may not be totally clear, especially at the beginning. So business strategy is one thing. And I realized, like I said, I'm good at that. But I realized I needed 2 other strategies to really help me execute and implement well and to create a lot of momentum. And also just to give me the confidence in what I was doing. And they are a business strategy, a mental strategy, and an execution strategy. Now, here's the thing. We hear a lot of talk about mindset in the entrepreneurial space. We hear a lot of talk about productivity. And what I'm talking about is not those concepts in this big kind of fluffy way. I'm talking about really specific things that you can use. So when I'm talking about a mental strategy, that is usually about beliefs. So there are beliefs that, or there were, still are, beliefs that I have that are not helping me to move forward the way that I want to. And the thing about beliefs is we kind of don't realize that the beliefs that we have are not ones that we chose. Often they're ones we've picked up or created because of experiences. And the thing about beliefs is that you can actually just change them. You can decide to change them to beliefs that are more empowering to you. And so what I realize is if I am going to build a startup and create something that really impacts people, the mental strategy that I am using has to be really strong. So I need a strategy to keep myself mentally strong and keep myself focused on the beliefs that are going to move me forward, and be very deliberate about that. So that's the mental strategy. And the execution strategy is actually about habits. So it's about what habits do I need to be implementing consistently that will move my business forward. And so I've found over the last 7 months since I've put those things in place that I've actually achieved a massive amount, far more than I ever have before, because I've got these 3 things working for me. And my realization this morning was when the business strategy is unknown, what I need to do is get much more clear about my mental strategy and my execution strategy. And that I was feeling wobbly this morning, not because I can't do this or not because it's impossible, but because my mental strategy and my execution strategy weren't supporting me enough to find out what the business strategy should be. So what are my next few steps? I can work that out. It's not rocket science, but I need to make sure that my mental strategy and my execution strategy are also working for me, especially when I'm working in uncertainty. Well, I hope that makes sense. I hope that is helpful. Please let me know below if there's questions, or if you would like me to talk a bit more about this. I'd be really happy to do some more videos if this has been useful. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.